how you can code in a piano, that I'm going to discuss today. So let's get started over here. So before going ahead, we are going to discuss about basic of component over here, and after that we are going to understand that analog input, analog output, and how you can write program in the Arduino for IoT application. And after that we are going to perform very interesting IoT application, that how you can control your home appliance using your mobile phone, and how you can make your customized mobile app. So that also I'm going to share with you. Let's get started. So first we are going to discuss the Tinkercad that we have already discussed yesterday, that how Tinkercad is working and how you can use it effectively for getting maximum output. And now we are going to discuss about microcontroller. So a quick overview I have given you yesterday, that what is Arduino. Now I'm going to discuss about in little bit detail about microcontroller, and then we are going to build some circuit over there for IoT applications. So when we talk about microcontroller is a single computer, mean computer on a chip. We can call it a computer on a chip. So whenever we are going to make anything automatic, for that we need a everything in a one single chip. Like we need a AD converter, that is analog to digital converter. Microprocessor is also required, RAM is also required, programmable memory is also required, crystal oscillator is also required. All these things are embedded over there in a single chip, that is known as microcontroller. So when we talk about microprocessor, so in a microprocessor, you have to attach all these things separately. So take an example of microcontroller, like in earlier Nokia 1100 is an example of a microcontroller. Now in these days, we are going to talk about smartphone. So in a smartphone, that is an example of microprocessor, because you can compare both of them in a feature point of view. Because in a microcontroller based mobile there was limited features, and when we talk about microprocessor based mobile, there is multiple feature over there, multiple tasking also we can do it, and we can add external memory, RAM, and all that can also be added. So when we talk about development board, so development board is integration of microcontroller, and after that we are going to perform some application, and mean there are few more extra thing included in microcontroller. So you can see that power circuit, programming interface, basic input and output, and LEDs and buttons. Two things are connected with this
Sir,
microcontroller.
excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, your
Yes.
PPT is not visible, sir.
Okay, PPT is not visible. Let me share
Yes,
it
sir.
again. Now it is visible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Okay, okay, thank you. So when we talk about the development board, that you can see it, that integration of power circuit over there, and there is power circuit also, there is programming interface also. This one is a programmable IC, I2C IC over here, that you can do see over here, 16U2, and then input output also. These are input and output over here, and also there are buttons like reset button and few more input output LEDs also. So after integrating these features, we are going to make from microcontroller to development board. So when we talk about development board, so Arduino is a development board. So when we talk about Arduino is being developed in 2005 by by two friends, Massimo Banji and David. So they made it open source, and still it is open source. And you can write code over here in embedded C, processing, and Java. So commonly we are using coding over here, that is embedded C. So very important feature is that due to that open source, you can make your customized board also. Mean if you talk about this microcontroller, that microcontroller cost is approximate 400 rupees. But when we are going to make your product low cost and cost effective, what you can do, you can program it over here, and after doing program, what you can do, you can directly come to, you can remove that microcontroller. This microcontroller, you can remove it from over here, and after that you can insert it in your circuit, and you can make your circuit cost effective, because that microcontroller cost is approximate 130 rupees, and only few external things like voltage regulator and capacitor and one crystal oscillator is required, and total cost will be approximate 150, so that you can make it. So when we talk about microcontroller Arduino, you can see it over here. So this one is microcontroller Arduino Uno. So in this Arduino Uno that I told you yesterday also, these are digital pins, these are analog pins, and these are power socket. So very important point is over here. So from these analog pin, we can take only analog input signal. So analog input signal, we can take it over here, but on this PWM pin, we can write analog output also. That also we can write it over here. Mean analog output mean we can use that PWM technique over here for writing analog output signal. So let's see it over here, how you can use it. So these are more detailed picture over here. So there is one LED, that is built-in LED, and this one is microcontroller, that name is 8 mega 328. These are power port over here. This one is power supply and USB cable. This one is reset button. So when we talk about Arduino specifications, let's see that specification of the Arduino, that how you can use it in a very simple way. So when we talk about microcontroller in the Arduino, you know, that is 8 mega 328, and it's operating on the voltage of 5 volt. And after that, you can see that input voltage, that is 7 to 12 volt, and then voltage limit, that is 6 to 20 volt. And digital input output pin, those are 14 digital input output pin, out of which 6 provide PWM output, and analog input pin, there is 6 analog input pin. So DC current per input output, that is very much important. So when we are going to provide any digital signal at the output, so how much high rating current appliance we can control it. So we can control maximum 40 milliampere rating current rating appliance or DC current rating appliance, and with the help of that we can control our appliance. Just take an example, like if you want to control a DC motor from the microcontroller, you cannot control it directly. For that you need a driver circuit. So that driver circuit can consist of transistor or relay, and with the help of that you can control up to 1 kilowatt load or up to AC appliance, whatever you want to control. For that you have to make a driver circuit. That is very much important. So these are flash memory, RAM, clock speed. So when we talk about Arduino, so in Arduino world there is 3 things. First one is physical hardware, that is Arduino Uno hardware board. Then programming interface, that is programming environment, that is software. That name of that software is Arduino IDE. Then communities and philosophy, that is community. Over there you will find many open source code, and with the help of that those open source code, what you can do, you can take some example, you can write any complex code in a very simple way without having prior programming knowledge. So these are commonly type boards and different type of Arduino boards. So that you can see, this one is Arduino Nano, and this one is Arduino, sorry, this one is Arduino Nano, this one is Arduino Pro Mini, and this one is Arduino Mega, and this one is Uno, and this one is a LilyPad. LilyPad is very cost effective, and you can stitch it in a cloth. If you are going to make any project which when you are going to deploy in a cloth, that you can use it over there. So this one is a simple first program that you can see it, like yesterday we did it, like LED blink, LED on and off. That is simple code like pin mode, digital write high and low. So these are the terminology that we are using in the Arduino programming. So what are the terminology? The first one is sketch, then pin, then digital, then analog. So these are terminology we are using. It sketch means that code we are writing over there. Pin means the input and output pin that we are using it over there. Digital means we are going to provide high or low, or we are going to read high and low signal in the Arduino. Analog means we are reading analog signal or we are writing analog signal. So when we talk about programming structure, that you can see it over here. So yesterday I told you only about that graphical programming. Now we are going to discuss about that embedded C over here. So you can see over here how you can write code. So when we talk about coding, so we have to write in this format like pin mode, or that we have to define pin number. So which pin we are using it, that is input or output. And after that, when we are going to read any signal, we have to write like this, digital read. So R should be capital over here. Over here is M is capital. So that programming is case sensitive. So case sensitive mean you have to write in the same format. If you are going to do any mistake over there, your program will not get executed and it will show error. So is again I'm repeating over here, that is output current you can provide from this input output pin. From the output pin, that is 40 milliampere maximum. So now you can see over here that delay we are using it in a millisecond. So as we have used yesterday, the delay was in a millisecond 1000. So 1000 means 1 second. So whenever we are writing this delay function, we have to use time over here in a millisecond. So these are basic components that we are going to discuss over here. So like push button, trim potentiometer, photoresistor, relay, temperature sensor, flux sensor, soft trim port, RGB LEDs. So what are the type of these components? Like push button is being used for digital input. That is type function is open and close. And then after that trim potentiometer, so this one is giving analog input signal. So that is variable resistor. So yesterday we have connected that potentiometer for analog read. So then photoresistor, this one is a light dependent resistor, LDR. So that is analog input, we are going to use it. Relay will give digital output signal, and temperature sensor will give analog input. Flux sensor will give analog input. Similar way, soft trim port, analog input, and RGB LED, digital and analog output. So these are few more component over here that you can see, like buzzer, transistor, and DC motor, push buttons, that also we can use it. So this one is servo motor over here. So this one is a breadboard over here. So how you can use breadboard? You can use LCD, you can use some ICs, you can use some relay over there in the Tinkercad easily. So now we are going to discuss about basic of electricity. So maximum time participant get confused about voltage, current, and like that. So you can see in a very simple way how Ohm's law is working. That is V is equal to IR. I think everyone is familiar with Ohm's law. V is directly proportional to IR. So the I and R is constant. So electrical properties, you can see it like voltage, current, and resistance. So voltage is a potential energy and potential difference, and current is the rate of flow of charge, and resistance will oppose the flow of charge. So you can see over here in a simple water analogy that high current, low current. So when you can see it, when this tab is opened, mean resistance will get reduced, high current will be flow over here. So when we are going to tighten the tab, so very less current will be flow over here. You can see like water. So if voltage is high, water will be flow high. If voltage is less, mean if water level is high, you can see output of the water at the ground level will be high. Pressure will be high. So as we can see, if water level is low, and you can see that output current will be flow less, mean water pressure will be less. over here both are in the same level, but we have reduced resistance over here, mean we have increased pipe diameter, and over here what we did, we are just going to reduce that pipe diameter. So you can see less current is flowing, over here high current is flowing. So water is representing over here current. So you can use multimeter also, that for checking voltage current easily. So I'm just coming to breadboard. So how breadboard is working? So breadboard is being used for prototyping. So whenever we have to make any kind of prototype, over there we are going to use that breadboard. So when we are using breadboard, so over here you can see that how connection we have to do it. So these are connection, like these strip we have to connect it, this one strip we have to connect it like this, and these strips are internally connected over here in the back side of this one is the back side picture of this, you can see it. So if you are going to make multiple wire connection, you can connect it directly by using these holes over here, these points over here, so that you can use it. So these are connected like this, and these are connected like this. So these are solderless breadboard, same breadboard over here. You can see their connection. Their connection is over here like this, A, B, C, D, and all these connected like this. Row and column, you can see it how it is connected. So we have discussed about LED also yesterday. So now I'm skipping it. So resistance. Now this one is a potentiometer that we have discussed yesterday, that how potentiometer is working. So that you can see over here detailed picture. So now this one is a push button. This one is very much important. So whenever we are going to use push button, we have to use one pull up and pull down resistor over there. So how you can use that pull up, pull down resistor in a very simple way, that is very interesting over here. So that I'm going to discuss over here. So first we are going to use digital input using push button, and after that we are going to use analog read using one very important, that is LDR sensor. So you can use PGO buzzer for getting different frequency and tone. This one is temperature sensor for detecting temperature, and this one is LCD. You can interface LCD also over there. So this one connection, simply you are going to make it. You can control this LED using Arduino. So this one is simple circuit, how you can connect it with the Arduino, that we did it yesterday. So this one is minimal program. Minimal program means when we are going to write any program in the Arduino, you will find basic program, that is void setup and void loop. Then after that you can define your pin output and high and low. So two things is very important required. First one is you have to define your pin number, that is output or input, and after that you have to define their state, that is high or low. So you can see over here this one code. So now we are going to talk about push button, that how you can use it and how you can connect it with the microcontroller and how you can read that signal of that push button. So this one is my push button connections. So there is two configuration we are going to use it over here in a push button using this resistance, that is pull down resistor, and over here is pull up resistor. What is the meaning of it? That when we are going to provide 5 volt over here, so what output we are going to get? So 5 volt we are providing it. When push button is not pressed, so we are going to get output, that is 0 volt over here, because this one is connected with a ground. And now as we are going to provide going to press this push button, so after pressing this push button, this wire will get connected with a 5 volt, and you are going to get output, that is 5 volt. So that is pull up configuration, pull down configurations. Now when we are going to use pull up resistor over here, so over here the logic will be inverted. So 5 volt we are providing, without pressing push button we are going to get output over here, that is 5 volt. And as we are going to press this push button, this wire will get connected with the ground, and we are going to get 0. So that is inverted logic working over here. Mean after pressing push button you are going to get 0, and when you are going to press push button you are going to get over here 1. Without pressing button, you are going to get 1, otherwise you are getting 0. So that configuration we are going to use it with the microcontroller. So this one is microcontroller over here, that is 8MEGA328P. That is this one is this one is microcontroller unit. So MCU, or we can call it Arduino also, and we have to connect it with the pull-up resistor over here or pull-down configuration, whatever configuration we can use it. We want to use it. So let's see it over here. I'm going to use this configuration, and you can see that microcontroller unit. So this connection I made it over here. So very important parameter over here, that is that how push button we have to connect it in a physical hardware. So you can see over here that is a configuration of push button. So without pressing that push button, these A and C are connected, and B and D are also connected with each other. So B and D are connected, A and C are connected. Similar way, you can see over here in a pictorial way that A and C, B and D. So as we are going to press that button, all these are get connected with each other. So we have to make over here the circuit, that is pull down circuit over here, that you can see it. So that circuit we are going to make with the Arduino, and we are going to read it. So let's see it how we can make this push button, and after that we are going to discuss about analog read and analog write. So let me create a new circuit over there in the Tinkercad, and we are going to use that push button configurations and using pull down resistor over there. So now you can take this push button, and you can use one resistance over here, and also I'm going to take Arduino. So this one wire I'm going to connect with the ground, and this one wire I'm going to connect with a 5 volt. And this one I'm going to connect with the output. This one is my output. You can check with the multimeter first, and after that you can insert it over there. I mean, in an Arduino you can give that input, but before that I'm going to check it on the multimeter. So this one is ground. I'm going to connect it with the ground again, because this one is ground, so I'm going to connect it over here. This one is positive, so positive I'm going to connect with the output. Let's take output from over here, and let's see what output is coming. So we are not giving any signal to the Arduino right now. We are just using this Arduino as a power source. So as I'm going to press this button, so what output is coming? 5 volt. After pressing it, we are getting 5 volt. Otherwise, we are getting 0 volt. Again, we are pressing it, we are getting 5 volt. Otherwise, we are getting 0 volt. So when we are going to press that button, we are going to get 5 volt signal. Otherwise, we are going to get 0. So that configuration we have to use it, and that 5 volt we have to enter it in the Arduino digital pin. So I'm going to use Arduino, any digital pin you can use it, and over there I'm going to enter my 5 volt signal. So I have used 6 number pin. Now you can write code. Code is simple, that we did it yesterday. So how you can do it? So I'm going to take input digital read pin number 6, and after that you can do serial print, output serial print. So over here now what you can do, you can start simulation. So let me show you. Yes, so by default we are getting 0 signal. As I'm going to press this button, we are getting 1, because when we are providing 5 volt over here, Arduino will read it as a high, otherwise it will read as a low. So high over here mean 1. So as we are going to provide 5 volt, we are going to get 1, otherwise 0. So that is digital read using push button. So that push button you can use it over here. Now we are going to use a voltage divider circuit over here, and we are going to understand about analog read. So let's see how you can use analog read over here. So this one we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about analog read, analog input and analog output. So when we talk about analog input, so we are providing 0 to 5 volt to the microcontroller, but very important point, that task I have given you yesterday, that in the Arduino, when we are reading any kind of analog signal, that signal we are reading in the format of 10 bit. So what is the meaning of that 10 bit? 10 bit means 2 raised to power 10. So 2 raised to power 10, that is equivalent to 1024. So when we are going to read the 0 to 5 volt, it will get magnified in the format of 0 to 1023 in the format of 10 bit. So I mean Arduino will read in the format of this, but we are providing voltage in the format of this. So that is very much important over here. So 10 bit ADC we are using it over here. That means 0 to 1024, and that ADC resolution also we can calculate by 5 volt divided by 1024, and you can see it. So that ADC you can use it over here, and you are reading voltage in the format of 1024. You are providing signal in the format of 0 to 5 volt, but we are reading in the Arduino in the format of 0 to 1024. So let's see it how you can use it. And if you want to convert again in a voltage, you have to use this formula 5 divided by 1024, and you will get output in the format of this, and you can convert it back in a voltage also by multiplying this factor over there in the coding. So now let's see how you can use this ADC over there, and how you can read it, and how you can write it. So that we have discussed yesterday also. So we are going to use over here potentiometer. So potentiometer we have already discussed. Now I'm going to use a very important point over here, that is LDR. So LDR sensor we are going to use it. So when we are using LDR is working as a resistor type sensor, variable resistor. So now what we can do, we can use this LDR. We cannot use this LDR directly with the analog pin. We have to use one resistance, and we have to make a voltage divider circuit. So that voltage divider circuit I'm not going to discuss over here in detail, but I will share with you reference link. Over there you can go with the detail. So I'm going to connect this one with the ground. This one we have to connect with a 5 volt. And we have to take output from this common point, this sensor and this resistance. The common point is over here, so you can take output from over here, and you can connect with any analog pin. So I'm going to use A0 pin. So this output signal we are getting to A0 pin. So let's see how much output is coming. You can cross verify with multimeter also, that how much output you are giving it. So I'm going to connect it with ground. This one is ground, and this one is output. So output you can connect it over here. So multimeter we are using it for checking it that what output is coming. So you can see that coming in a voltage, a millivolt, and you can write code over here also. That code is same, but we are going to change this block to analog. Go to input, read analog pin, A0. So now code is same. So you can see over here, this one is my LDR. So at full darkness, that value is 6 over here. So as I'm going to increase that value, you can see my voltage is also increasing and output voltage is changing over here in the format of 10 bit, that is 0 to 1023. So that value is changing accordingly. So this one value is coming 323 and value is coming over here maximum 679. If you are going to reduce that resistance value or you are going to increase it 10 kilo ohm, so value is get increased again. You can see 54 to 974, your output is changing. Your voltage is changing from millivolt to 4.75 volt. So that output is coming same and we are getting value in the format of over here 10 bit. But if you want to convert it again in a 5 volt, how you can convert it? So for that you have to go to map. Over there you will find one function, that is map. So in a map, what you can do, you can convert that value in the format of whatever format you want. So I'm going to duplicate it and set it 0 to 5 volt. I want to convert whatever value we are reading from the analog pin in the format of 10 bit. That value I want to convert again in the 5 volt. So let's see it how we can convert it. So now we have to print it. We have to print this value over here. I'm going to delete this one. You can insert it over here after conversion. So this one is my code, single line of code. I just use one map function over here. Now I'm going to print it. So value is coming in a voltage, you can see it. But that coming in a float, not coming in a float, coming in integer. So if you want to see that value in a float, that also you can read it, because over here that value is coming in a float. Float means points. You are getting exact value, but you are going to get only full number, whole number over here, that is 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, like this, that you are getting it. Now over here you can see it. You can stop simulations. So that is analog read. We are reading analog signal over here in the particular pin, that is A0, whatever pin you are using it from A0 to A5, that you can use it. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do analog write. So how you can do analog write? So analog write, we can do it in a very same way that we have used over here. So let me show you that analog write over here. Yes. So analog write, how we can do it? For that we are going to use one technique, that is PWM technique. PWM stand for pulse width modulations over here. So that technique we are going to use it for giving analog output, because still we have discussed about digital input, digital output, and analog input. Now we are going to discuss over here, that is very important part, that is analog output. So you can see over here that we can use PWM technique. What is the meaning of PWM technique? So I'm going to explain quickly over here that what is PWM technique. Take an example. Take an example of your ceiling fan. So there are few conditions that I'm going to put on the ceiling fan. First one is I'm going to rotate my regulator over there and I'm going to make it full speed, and my switch is still off of that particular fan. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn on that fan with my switch for 10 seconds and turning it off after 10 seconds. Means at 10 seconds my fan is on and after 10 seconds my fan is off, on and off. This process I'm repeating for infinite time. So what output I will get over there? So I will get an average output speed over there in my fan. Mean I'm not going to make it fully off and I'm not going to make my fan fully on, because I'm just turning it on and off for 10 seconds. So as my fan, as I just owned it, and my fan is going to reach at maximum speed, but before that I'm going to turn it off because that is 10 seconds only. So what is happening over there? So you are going to get average output speed at your fan. Mean you are going to on it, off it, on it, off it. So your fan will be not fully on or not fully off, and you are going to get average output speed over there. So similar way, that is PWM technique is working over here. So what we are going to do in the Arduino, we are going to provide on the digital pin that high and low signal, but their on off time, high and low the timing that we are changing. So with the help of that, we can change output voltage also. So that you can see it over here in a very simple way. That is on time 50%, off time 50% over here, that you can see it. So we are going to get average output over here, that is 50%. Mean average we are going to get voltage, that is 2.5 volt, because maximum voltage we are giving in the output, that is high, that is 5 volt. So 50% of 5 volt is 2.5 volt over here. So now you can see over here that is 25% and 75%. So over here on time is 25%, that on and off time you are changing it, that is time. So that is 25% and off time is 75%. So you are going to get average output voltage, that is only 25%. And similar way you can see it over here, that is 75% on time, 25% off time. So over here we are going to get 75% output voltage. So when we are going to write analog output, so how we have to write it? We have to write in the format of 8-bit. That is very much important. So let's see how we can write over here. You can see in a practical way that average, that on off time over here, that is your duty cycle. But you are getting average voltage, that is over here in a red line. So over here your output is coming in the format of this 50% on time, 50% off time over here. Now over here you can see it that 25% off time, 75% on time. So over here you can see it in a very simple way. So now you can see over here that PWM pins are 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. Only these pins you can use for analog output purpose, so that you can use it. So as I told you, so output we are going to write over here in the Arduino on analog pins, that for that you have to write in the format of 0 to 255. That is 8-bit. 8-bit output you are going to write it over here. So now you can see that output voltage is changing from 0 to 5 volt, but you are going to write value from 0 to 255. At 255 you are going to get 5 volt output. It in between 0 to 255, according to that you are going to get average voltage at the output. So that is very much important over here. So now I'm going to use it practically, that how you can use it analog output over here. So let's see it how you can use it. So we are going to test it practically, that how analog output is working. So these are very much important, like digital read, digital write, analog read, analog write. So these are very important functionality of a microcontroller for reading any sensor or giving any output to any actuator. So these 4 parameters are important. So now what I'm going to do, only directly I'm going to write analog output. So I'm going to take one LED, or you can take directly multimeter to check it out, that how much voltage is coming. Negative you can connect with the ground. Positive you can connect with any digital pin, any PWM pin. So 6 number pin is my PWM, that is written over here with a sign symbol, that negative symbol you can call it. This one is 6 number pin. So now I'm not going to use LDR right now, I will use it later on. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it, going to write code. So this one is my code, previous code, I'm going to delete it. So output over here, I'm going to use third block. The third block is over here, this one. This one is for PWM. Only PWM pin you will find over there. So I'm going to select that pin, that is 6 number, and how much value you want to write. Initially I want to write 0, then delay, and I want to write again value duplicate, then I want to write value 100, then duplicate, you can write 200, and then duplicate, you can write 255. So these are step by step we are writing it over here in 0 to 255. So my output will change from 0 to 5 volt. Let's see what output is coming on 6 number pin. So in a step by step, every second my output is changing. You can see it 3.95. In 3 interval it's changing. First one is 1.9800, then 3.5 at 200, and 5 volt at 255. That is average output voltage we are getting it, so that you can see it. And if you want to see it in a waveform, that also you can see it. For that you can take scope over here. I'm going to use scope to check it out. So you can connect negative with the ground. Positive is output that I'm going to connect with 6 number pin. So I'm going, this one is output is coming over here, that you can see it, but it's not looking properly. So what you can do, click over here. I'm just going to change that scale. Now you can see it properly. That on off timing is visible over here. This output is coming, but average voltage you are getting it over here. So you are getting output in the format of this high and low, and over here is again you can see it high low. On time is over here, that is more. Over here on time is more, off time is less. You are getting 3.9 volt. So after that you are going to get 5 volt, and now at this state on time is less, off time is more. So that output you are getting in a proper waveform. Now this one we are doing analog output. So now what we want to do, we want that we are reading from this analog pin, from this LDR, and according to that LDR, my LDR brightness, I want to change my LED brightness or motor speed. So I want to change my motor speed according to my LDR brightness. So I'm going to map it. So let's see it. So I'm going to read it from analog pin, and after that I'm going to write analog output. So I can delete this code. I'm going to input analog input. We are going to take it from A0 pin, and this value I want to map it in output in the format of 0 to 255, because in Arduino we are reading on the analog pin, that is 0 to 1023, but now when we are going to write on analog pin, over there we are writing in the format of 0 to 255. So how we can map it? So I'm going in a math. So take that map function. This value I want to map it in the format of 0 to 255. 255. Now this one is my mapped value. So that value I'm going to write on my analog pin. Which pin? 6 number pin. And I can write it over here like this. So on 6 number pin, I'm going to write value whatever I'm reading from analog pin, but that is converting in a format of 0 to 255. So start it. Let's see it over here. So over here you can see it, that LDR, and I'm going to change my LDR value, that is analog input voltage. I'm going to write it accordingly. You can see my voltage is changing from 4.76 in the format of same output we are getting it. We are reading analog input, and same output we are going to write it. After converting it in a we are reading in the format of 10 bit, but we are writing in the format of 8 bit. That you can see it. And you can see that waveform over here. That is very interesting part, that how my waveform is changing. you can see it that on and off time, how my on and off time changing. So you can see on time is more, off time is minimum. So as I'm going to reduce, going to increase darkness, you can see my on time is reducing and off time is more over here. So that you can see it over here in a very simple way. So that is over here about analog read and analog write. So in replacement of this scope or this multimeter, we can use motor also for controlling speed. So as I told you, directly motor we cannot use in a hardware, but we can check it over here. So over here in the simulation we can use it. That is very small motor. So I'm going to connect it on 6 number pin. So in 6 number pin we have connected motor for output. Now you can see RPM over here, that is 200 RPM. Now I'm going to increase brightness. So my RPM is increasing. You can see my RPM is increasing. As I'm going to decrease that light brightness, you can see RPM is reducing. So my RPM get reduced over here and increase over here. So I'm going to control my output from my input. So input we can use some sensor, input we can use some voltmeter, input we can use some any kind of sensor like that, and we can give output accordingly. So in replacement of this sensor, this LDR, we can use voltmeter also. So working will be same, code will be same. So I'm going to use over here that voltmeter. It's only 3 wire we have to connect it. This one I'm going to connect with the ground. This one I'm going to connect with the 5 volt. This one I'm going to connect with the analog pin, that is A0. The code is same, no need to change it. So now we will able to control that motor speed using this potentiometer. As I'm going to change my potentiometer value, you can see my output PWM is changing from 0 to maximum. And similar way you can see my RPM is also changing over here. I think this one is everyone get cleared that concept of analog input and analog output, so that we can make it, and with the help of that we can make any kind of project using this analog input and analog output. So let me come here. So that we have discussed about analog output, and analog input also we have discussed, and how you can use it. You can use potentiometer for like this, as we have used it over here. And you can use temperature sensor also for detecting temperature. Like this, you can connect it LM35 temperature sensor, and you will get output in a format of temperature. That also we can use it. You can use LCD like this. LCD also you can interface over here, so that I told you yesterday also. So these are basic steps. If you want to upload your code in a hardware, how you can upload it, that is very interesting part. So that I'm going to share with you that how you can upload your code in a hardware, and how you can use that graphical coding for writing code in a hardware. So this Arduino you can download it also, or you can use Arduino in a cloud version also, that I'm going to use it right now. So these are steps over here for using Arduino over here. So I'm skipping it. So you can write code, and there are a few troubleshooting concepts that you can use it. Like if you are not able to find port or something like that, so how to troubleshoot it. So these are input and output that we have already discussed, that what is input and what is output. So analog is digital. So analog is variable continuous signal, and digital is discrete, like this, high and low over there, that you can use it over here in a very simple way. So these are Arduino and Arduino compatible boards over here. So these are 6 programming syntax that we are using it, like digital write, analog write for analog output, digital write for digital output, digital read for digital input. If statement, else statement also we can use it, analog read also we can use it, serial communications also we can use it over here, analog read for reading digital analog signal. So these are simple coding like on off. So this one is a frequency. Some participant yesterday was asking that what frequency we have to write, how we can get different sargam tone on that piano. So you have to use this frequency in a coding for in Arduino programming. So when we are using a graphical programming, there will be some different values over there. That also I will let you know how you can use it. So that also you can use it over there. So over here you can see it different frequency for sargam like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, that you can take over here. Yes. So these are some programming structures details. So that I'm not going to discuss over here because due to time limitations. So just quickly showing you that how you can use these variable operators programming language, that is embedded C programming, so that you can use it. So these are different sensors that also you can interface it with the Arduino. Yes. So now I'm coming to, these are variable type, analog, that already we have discussed. Yes. Loop also, while loop also you can use it. So analog in read. Yes. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you few projects that how you can make it and how you can use a piano over here. And after that, I'm going to share with you communication module, that how you can wirelessly communicate and how you can control your home appliance. So let's see it over here. So over here, I'm going to connect one piano with my Arduino. So if you want to make any, like if you want to play any sargam song using potentiometer, that also you can use it. So now I'm going to play my sargam over here using potentiometer. So we are reading over here in the format of digital. Let me delete it. I'm going to read it, input, analog read. So this value I'm reading it, and I'm going to use if condition over here, control if and else conditions. Let me take if condition over here, if and then, or you can use if and else also. I'm going to use it right now. Go to math, and you can see that second operator we are going to take it. If this condition, that value of this sensor less than, I'm going to make it less than, first of all, 100. So less than 100, I want to play sa tone. So how you will get that frequency? So that frequency, I'm going to show that. Go to output, and over there you can take buzzer, that play speaker. This buzzer you have to take it in a output, play speaker. And over there is frequency also, that you can see it in a very simple way. So that with the tone that is 60, in a 60 tone you are getting frequency 523. So as I told you over there, so that frequency we have to use it. So you can make it like 58 or 48. At 48 you are going to get 48. This tone you have to set it according to your required frequency. So that I'm going to make it 48. Then after every two value difference, we are going to increase it, and you will get sa, re, ga, ma, all the tones. These are note over here that you can see it. At 262, you will get some tone. So you no need to make accurate frequency. You can make approximate value over there. So after that, I'm going to put some delay, control. And after that, you can duplicate it. And I'm going to select pin number of that buzzer. I'm going to take 6 number, because on 6 number I will connect one buzzer. So now I'm going to make it 48 to, you can make it 51. 3 difference I'm going to make it over here. Then again 51 to 54. You can see that frequency is also changing to 62, 311, 370. That is exact frequency over here. So then again, I'm going to duplicate it. So the 4 tone, I'm going to get it right now. You can take it multiple also. 54 to 57. And if you want to take one more, let me take one more. 60. So that I have taken it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this code. So you can start simulation, but before that, what we have to do it, we have to connect one buzzer also over here. This one is a speaker over here. Yes, this one is a PGO speaker. You can connect ground. You can connect that 6 number pin. So 6 number pin we have connected it over here. Now we have to start simulations. And I'm going to make it in only graphical so that you can see properly. So in a simulation, you can see serial monitor we have not printed yet. So I'm going to print on the serial monitor also that my potentiometer value. Serial monitor, serial print, make it out. And what I want to print over there, this value I want to print it. So that potentiometer value I want to print on the serial monitor also. So you can see that value is 430. So at 430, I'm not going to get any tone. If my value will be less than 100, so what will be happen over there? My buzzer will play 5 to 6 sargam tone over there. So that you can see it. I'm going to reduce it. Now value is 143. Still not less than 100. So again, I'm going to going to reduce it. I think everyone is able to hear it. That as I have crossed that limit, this age I have crossed that limit of 100, mean my value is less than 100, then my condition gets satisfied and my if condition get executed over here and my tone will get played. That sargam I have just played over here. So I think you are able to hear that voice of that speaker. And similar way you can, this one I have used using that potentiometer. You can use using push button also, and you can use using 7 push button also. If I want to use over here one push button, with single push button also you can make it, and if you want to connect multiple push button for different tone, that also you can make it and you can play it. So that you can make it in a very simple way. So now this one is about piano, that how you can make a piano, and similar way you can make many projects over here. Now very interesting part that I'm going to discuss over here, that how you can upload code in a Arduino. So let me open new code over here. So I'm going to use Arduino over here and I'm going to upload code over there from the Tinkercad. So I'm going to generate my code from the Tinkercad and I'm going to upload that code in a real hardware. So for that I'm going to click on create a new circuit. In a new circuit over there I'm going to use Arduino and simple LED, simple code I'm going to use it right now to show you that how you can use it. So this one is my Arduino over here. I'm going to connect one LED over here on 30 number pin and I'm going to write code. So this one code I'm going to write it with my choice. Take this one, select pin number 13 and go to control, wait, duplicate, make it low. So 13 number pin I have just There is inbuilt LED also, and we are going to start simulation. It will work over here. Same thing I'm going to do it in hardware also. So my LED is blinking with 1 second. Now you can see that embedded C code. So this one is my code over here, embedded C code in a block plus text. So I'm going to copy this code. You can copy it or you can download this code from over here. I'm just going to copy it. And after that, I'm going to open Arduino website, arduino.cc. That website, I'm going to open it. So in this Arduino website, what we have to do it, we have to write code over here. We have to open Arduino software in online mode without downloading it. So I'm going to click on Arduino create. And in Arduino create, over there I'm going to click on Arduino web editor. So it will ask about sign in. You can do sign in over there, and you can create account over there, and you will able to access it. So that is free tool. You can use it online also. No need to pay it. So this one you can see it. This one is your Arduino software. You are using Arduino software over here on a cloud. So over here, what you can do, you can paste your code. Whatever code you have copied from the Tinkercad over here, this one code, you made it for LED high and low. You have copied it. This code you can paste it over here. So I'm going to paste it over here, that code. So this one is my code. So how I can upload this code in my hardware? So I'm going to connect my Arduino over here and I'm going to run it. So let me connect my Arduino using USB cable. So as I will connect my Arduino hardware, I will show you that hardware also. So I just connected it. So after connecting it, as I'm going to connect it, yes, after connecting it, a port will come automatically over here. You can see it, Arduino Uno has been connected. So that you can do it over here, that you can connect it, and after that it will start blinking. You will able to program it over here in a simple way. So now I'm going to upload code, but before that I'm going to share with you that how it is looking like. Yes, let me stop sharing. So let me upload code first, and after that you will able to see it. I'm going to upload it. So this code I'm going to upload it in my Arduino hardware and from the cloud. That is also Arduino cloud over here. That is AWS based cloud. But this one is open source. I have uploaded my code. So my LED will start blinking on 13 number pin. I will share with you. Yes. So you can see over here. This one is my Arduino. If you are able to see my picture over here. Sorry. Yes, you can see it over here. In this, there is one LED that is connected over here with my Arduino, and it will work over here in a very simple way. I'm just changing my camera. Wait for a second. Yes, now you can see there is one LED is blinking over here. This LED is blinking over here. That is LED that is connected on 13 number pin. That is relay LED. So that this one is my Arduino. You can see there is one LED also blinking in the Arduino. That is 13 number LED. So I have connected one relay over here for connecting my AC appliance. So you can control AC appliance also. That I'm going to do it right now. That how you can control your AC appliance also using this Arduino. So let's continue over here. Now we are going to make customized mobile app, and with the help of that we are going to control our home appliance. So let's get started. So still we have discussed about Tinkercad and Arduino software over here for uploading code. Now one more tool that we are going to discuss over here, that is Remote XY. The tool name is Remote XY. Remote XY. So that Remote XY, I'm going to use it, so that you can search it on the Google, that remotexy.com, and after that you will be able to see it. I'm going to open it. This one is also open source, and you have to go to editor. Over there you are going to make your customized mobile app. So this one is my application platform that I'm going to use it for making mobile app in a very simple way, without having any prior knowledge and without having any coding knowledge also, and you will be able to control your home appliance easily. So let's see it. First we are going to do it in a very simple way, and after that we are going to do in a very advanced manner also, that how you can design your customize with more customization, that app also you can design it. So over here you can see it. These are buttons, these are user interface, these are controls. So there is limited control over here, but if you want more control, then I will share with you another platform. Over there you will find many advanced platform, many advanced control panel over there, and you will be able to use it. So this one I'm going to use it. So what you can do, you can drag and drop. Simply just drag and drop, and you will be able to see it like this. Now after that I'm going to take second button. So multiple button you can take it. So I want to increase my size of button, that also you can change it. Click on the button and you can stretch it. So that we have used over here. This one is push button, this one is on off switch. So now if you want to change color over here, that also you can change it. Like I want to make color over here, that is some bluish. The background color also you can change it. Make it white. Over here also to color you can change it. This one I'm going to change it to blue and white. And that background color also, if you want to change it, that also you can change it in a view. That background color also you can change it. And you can make any another color. As per your choice, you can select any color which one you want to use it over here. Or you can use black also, dark black. So according to your usability, you can select your color. So I'm just selecting a simple colors over here. Let's take it. So you can see it over here in a very simple way. And after that, these are basic user interface that we are changing it. So now let me change that background color to little bit transparent. Yes. So now we are going to change this push button. Push button configuration means which appliance you are going to control from this push button, on which pin in the Arduino you are going to control it. For that, what you can do, you can click on this push button and you can click to snap to pin. In a snap to pin, you will find pin number over there. So I'm going to select over here pin number. So you can select pins over here, like any pin which one you want to control from your mobile phone using this button. So I'm going to select 12 number pin, and from this button I want to control my pin. You have to change snap to pin, that 30 number pin. So these two pin I want to control from my mobile, and I want to control from my mobile phone, and I'm going to connect appliance on these two pins. So let's see it how you can use it. So after doing this, this setup you can do it, and after that you have to go to configurations. So in a configurations, you have to click on Bluetooth. By default, you will find Bluetooth, because now we are going to control appliance using Bluetooth module, and after that we are going to use uh, another like mode like Wi-Fi mode and cloud server also, that we are going to use it. So over here you can see it. I'm going to select Bluetooth, and Bluetooth module is HC05 over here, that we are going to use it. So now module interface. In a module interface, we can do software serial, and TX and RX pin of Bluetooth module we have to connect with 2 and 3 pin of the Arduino. And baud rate should be 9600. That is by default baud rate of that Bluetooth module. That I will discuss in detail also, that how you can use that Bluetooth module. So this setup you have to do it. Everything is okay. Now what you can do, you can get source code. You can click on that get source code. So after clicking on that get source code, you will able to find your code like this. This one is your code. So in this code, no need to do it. You have to follow, no need to change any single line of code over here. Only same to same code you have to use it. So what you can do over here, you can download the source code. You have to follow all these 6 steps only. First one is download the source code and open your Arduino software, and you can upload that code. But before uploading, you have to add library in the Arduino software, and then you have to compile your code and upload your code, and after that you have to connect Bluetooth. So how to add library? So first of all, I'm going to discuss about Bluetooth module. So this one is the HC05 Bluetooth module. The Bluetooth module name is HC05, and how you are going to configure it. Baud rate is 9600, and serial connection you are going to use it over here. And you can see over here, these are software connection setup. These are connection with the hardware. So you are going to connect Bluetooth module on 2 and 3 pin of the Arduino, the TX and RX pin, and ground you are going to connect with the ground, and the VCC pin you are going to connect with the VCC, mean 5 volt. So this connection you have to make it. So after making all the connections, we have to go back. So we have followed first step. Now we are going to add library. In the second step, it is saying the download library. How we can download it? You can download library from over here. That is this cloud library. So you can download it. So as I'm going to click download, my library get downloaded in the format of zip file. So that zip file we have to upload it on my Arduino software. So I'm going to use Arduino Cloud. So over here I want to add my library and my code. So first I'm going to copy my code. This one is my code. You can copy it, and what you can do, you can go to your Arduino and you can paste your code over here. I pasted my code over here, that you can see it. Now after that we have to add library. For that we have to go to library over here, and in the library we have to select custom, because custom library we are adding it over here. So as we are going to click on the custom, there will be option of add a library as a zip file. So upload as a zip file, because we have a library downloaded in the format of zip. So that zip file we are going to upload it. Import it, and over there we have to go to download and find that remote XY library. These are library, you can select any one, remote XY. So now I'm going to import that library in my cloud. I mean, in a cloud Arduino software I'm using it. in that software I'm going to update my library and code. This one is my code. I'm going to yes, I'm importing my library. Library is successfully imported. Now after that you can compile your code. But before adding library, if you are going to compile it, it will show error over there. So success compiling is being done over there. Now what we have to do it, we have to upload it. So I'm going to upload my code in my Arduino software. So my code is compiling over there. You will able to find status after uploading code. It will show success. Yes, my code is uploaded on my Arduino software or Arduino hardware. Now after that, what we have to do it, this step we have followed it. Mean we have installed, compiled the code, uploaded it. Now we have to connect Bluetooth module, that also I have connected it. Now after that, install the mobile app, that is Remote XY app. So now what we have to do it, we have to install Remote XY app from Google Play Store to your mobile phone. So when we are going to install that app in our mobile phone, then we will able to go ahead with the next step. So how we have to connect it, that is very important part over here. So let's see it how we can connect it. So I'm going to connect it over here. Yes, wait for a second, and I'm going to connect that Bluetooth module, and I'm going to upload. That code is already uploaded. So now I'm going to going in my mobile phone. I will say my mobile screen be with me. So I'm going to connect it with my mobile phone, and I'm going to share my screen. So this one is my mobile screen over here that you can see it. So in my mobile screen, what we have to do it, we have to first of all, what we have to do it, after uploading code in a hardware and connecting Bluetooth module with the hardware. So as shown in the schematic over here, same I did it. Now we have to install mobile app in a Play Store. In a Play Store, we have to open over here, that is Remote XY app. I'm going to open it. So it's already installed in my mobile. I'm going to open it. You can open it. I'm going to open it. So as we are going to open that mobile app, you will able to see it that that kind of dashboard you will able to see in your mobile phone. So what you have to do, you have to click on that plus button over here. So that plus button, you have to click it. As you are going to click on that plus button, so I'm going to click on plus button, you will able to find these user interface like USB, Bluetooth, Bluetooth BLE. We have to click on that Bluetooth over here, Bluetooth. So I'm going to click Bluetooth. Now you can see Bluetooth is off. Let me turn it on. I just turn on my Bluetooth, and after turning on, you have to refresh it. You can refresh it from over here. Now you will able to find that SC05, that is the name of my Bluetooth module that is connected with the Arduino. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click over here. As I'm going to click over here, my app will come automatically in my mobile phone, whatever app I have designed it. So that app will become over here, and you will able to see it. Wait for a second. Yes, you can see it. So this one is your mobile app that came over here in a very simple way that you can see it. Whatever app you have designed it, that is coming over here. That is mobile screen. This one is mobile screen over here. So now what you can do, you can control your appliance using these buttons. So 12 and 13 number pin, you can control it from these buttons. So these are two buttons, and this one is my mobile screen. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect any AC appliance with my Arduino on 13 number pin or 12 number pin using relay module. So you cannot connect directly AC appliance with the Arduino, but you can use relay module for that. I will let you know relay module working also. So now I'm going to connect that relay module over here. and I will use it. So I will show you that how it is working. Wait for a second. I'm going to connect it first and then I will share with you screen. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to share with you my screen. You can see that mobile screen, and I'm going to coming in my hardware now. You can see over here. So this one is my AC bulb, that is LED bulb over here that you can see in my camera. And this one is LED bulb, and in this LED bulb what we have to do, I have connected one relay module, so that you can see it. This one is relay module over here that I have connected it, and after that I have connected that wire of my bulb, one wire directly I have connected with my AC load. Now one Bluetooth is also connected with my hardware. This one is my Arduino Uno, and I have connected this Bluetooth module that is hanging over here, that is SC05. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to control my appliance over here using this button. Let me see this one is working or not. Yes, this one is working. I'm going to turn on my AC appliance. Yes, now you can see it. My bulb is on. So my bulb is on. There is little bit wire is loose. Let me check it. Okay, now as I'm going to on it, you can see I'm controlling it with my mobile phone. This one is my mobile app. I'm going to turn it on, light it get on. You can see it. I'm going to turn it off, that you can see it. Again, I'm going to turn it on, appliance is turning on, again off. This one I'm controlling from my mobile phone, that you can see. I'm going to turn it on like this. You can see it on, and I'm going to turn it off from my mobile phone. So this one is AC appliance. I'm controlling it from my mobile phone. So you can control your appliance accordingly. That if you want to control multiple appliances, that also you can do it. So that you can do it over there in a very simple way. So this one is using Bluetooth module, means I'm going to on it from over here. It will get on. It will off also, can be done using this. So that you can do it in a very simple way. Now I'm coming to the question answer session. If you are having any queries, any doubt, that you can ask over here. Yes, please.
Please post your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute and ask the question.
Yes, relay connection I will show you in next session. I will show that how you can make a relay connection. I will show you it in detail. No need to worry about it. Okay. Yes, if you are having any kind of queries, that you can ask over here.
Sir, good morning, sir. Can we operate electrical appliances by using this remote XY, sir?
I'm not getting. Kindly repeat your question.
Can we operate electrical appliances such as a fan or a motor?
Yes. That also we can operate, because I have used over here. That is that LED bulb. That is AC bulb. Similar way, you can control your fan also. You can control your AC also. So whatever appliance you want to control, that also you can control it. But that depend upon their load capacity. Like if you're going to use standard relay, that current operating condition is over there 7 ampere maximum load you can put over there. If you want to control 3-phase induction motor, for that you need a that VFD drive, and after that you can connect it with the Arduino, and you will able to control it. Only the driver circuit you have to make it. In a driver circuit I have discussed over here relay module. In next session I will discuss in detail that how you can make a driver circuit using transistor and using relay, and how you can control your AC appliance with the current rating also. That also I will let you know. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. If any participant having any queries, they can ask over here. Yes, relay is sufficient. If you are going to just on and off your AC appliance, then relay is sufficient. With the relay, you will able to directly control your AC appliance on and off. But if you want to control your appliance, like if you are going to control your fan speed, for that you have to use different circuit. You cannot use directly relay. So then you have to use second type of relay, that is SSR relay, that is solid state relay. With the help of that, you can control your fan speed also, and you can make anything that you want to control with your mobile phone. And that customized app, you can design it in a very simple way, and without having any kind of coding knowledge, you will make it in a very simple way. Yes. Yes, if you are having any kind of queries, you can type it over here in the chat box. Yes, I will share with you one book for learning purpose, and with the help of that, you will get more exposure about Arduino and all that. One book I will share with you. Don't worry about it. So internet link, like if you want to learn it in a detail, if you are facing any difficulty, so let me share with you one link over here. Over there, you will able to learn all these things in a detail. So you can see over here when we are having a YouTube channel. Over there, you will find all these things in a detail. That is Innovate Skill e-learning over here. This one. So over there, you will find everything in a detail. That how it is working, how you can write code, how you can use the Tinkercad. Everything you will able to find it over here, and many detail program also you will find over there in a live session as well as hands-on recorded video. So that link I'm going to share with you, so that you will able to watch videos, and you can also subscribe that YouTube channels, because we are doing live frequently, so you will get notifications when we are going to live on new topics and new technology. Yes. So if any participant having any kind of doubt, any kind of queries, so which kind of application mean you can make any kind of application for getting real data. Real data mean it depend upon how much speed of the data you want. That if you are going to acquire simple data in your computer, you can use Arduino software. With the help of that Arduino software, you can acquire your data in a very simple way, and you can store the data in the Excel format also. That also can be done. But if you want to send data on a cloud, then you have to use different mode of communication, like you can use Ethernet shield, you can use Wi-Fi module also. So both of them you can select it. That depend upon your internet speed also. So there are many parameters which affect when you are going to send data on a cloud. So real-time data, if you are going to monitor in a cloud, there will be some delay. Otherwise, you can monitor directly in your in your computer screen. Over there, you can use Arduino software also in a very simple way. Identifying my Arduino code. So in a remote XY, how code is written and how app is designed. App is designed with the Android Studio in the back end, but there is standard platform that is made for a user friendly, so that they made some customization that can be editable and can be shared by another participant. And the coding that is written over here there that is in embedded C. But over there, that library is being included in a remote XY. In a library, there is detail program. So that detail program is written in a library, and basic syntax of library we can use it over there. I mean, we are going to call library function, and we are using in the programming, and we can write code. If you want to do any modification in the coding, that also can be done, because that coding we are doing over there, that is a embedded C coding. nothing else. That is simple coding. Yes. So thank you so much to all the participants. If any participant having any kind of queries, they can ask over here.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. The next session starts at 11:30, sir.
Okay,
So one
ma'am.
more question. One participant has asked a question in the chat box. Sir.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, library function is being going to use in Arduino code on the cloud. Yes, that library function is being used over there. How to write your own code? For that, I shared with you one link of YouTube channel. Over there, you will find all the detailed programming that how you can write your own code. So that I will let you know also in the next session that a few more detailed programming. The best way is that you can start from these things from the beginning, and slowly you will able to write your code also. But in your first time when you are going to write your code, you will face a lot of difficulty. But if you are familiar with the coding earlier, then also you will able to write your code. For that, what is required? If you are going to send data on a cloud, then you need some unique ID of that particular cloud, and after that you have to send that data on a cloud using some protocol like MQTT protocol, that subscriber and publisher protocol. So every detail you have to understand, then only you will able to write your own code for a cloud application. But if you are going to write code for a simple Bluetooth, that also you can write it. So in next session, if you want that that detailed programming of a Bluetooth module, if you want, then I will discuss the detailed programming so that you can understand that how you can write code for a Bluetooth module without using any library. So that also I will let you know. And one more app platform that I will share with you. Over there you will able to do a lot of customizations. That also I will share with you in next session. So okay, thank you so much. So we are going to assemble again at 11:30, and we are going to discuss in a detail also, and how you can write detailed programming also in a Bluetooth module for Bluetooth communication. If you are going to make your customized mobile app and customized coding also, that also you can do it. So this one is first part, mean without prior knowledge of coding you can do it. If you are having a basic understanding of coding, then we are going to do in the next part. So thank you so much over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. The participants are requested to join in the next session at 11:20 a.m. So please join shortly. So those who are not yet filled the feedback form, you can fill it now. That will be taken as an attendance for the first session or second day.